Hey everyone! Today we're going to be looking at a plus 11 State of the Triumvirate that was timed during the first week of Midnight Season 1. At the time of recording, I'd only done this dungeon once, actually, during the sort of preseason, so there's a lot that I still needed to learn in terms of like mob and boss mechanics. I was kind of just playing very reactionary. Um, for these 10 to 12 level keys, what I'm hoping to identify are kind of priority trash mobs in each pack, what my role is in mitigating their abilities, major damage events, and ramp timings, as well as meldable mechanics, and finding places to script my bark skin for defense against big damage. I'm also looking to find patterns as to like when I can move my life bloom around for priority single target damage and healing. Um, as always, I'm looking for places where I can increase my DPS, but that's not necessarily needed quite yet. Right now, I need to focus more on the fundamentals than anything. These videos aren't meant to be a guide, and they're more of just a way for me to identify and improve holes in my own gameplay. But if they are helpful to anyone watching, then that's great, and I hope they're useful. So I'm excited to watch this because I haven't been to Seeds since. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to turn the game sound down because I believe there may be some
Five,
chatter,
four,
but we'll see.
three, two,
Yeah, there's
one.
going to be some chatter, so I'm just going to turn that down. This is done with one person from guild, so it's not like a complete pug. Alright, yeah, aggro. Alright, so the first pull, I do remember this run. The first pull kind of started off a little bit rough, and we were wondering about, you know, whether or not we were gonna have a good time. But so first pull looks like heavy damage is coming out. I don't know if this is gonna be a typical pull or if we're gonna end up pulling more. Um, and we're looking for abilities that are coming out here. Cool. So everything seemed to die. Chains of subjugation. Cool. So that is a slow or snare, and it's something that's shiftable. When it comes out, it does a ton of damage, and I need to be really mindful about hot coverage and maybe even try to pre sort of shift, because I can shift out of it ahead of time. So if I can bear form before the cast goes off and then cast healing spells out of it, so here comes some chains, I should shift. Good. Oof. All right, we're off to a bad start. Probably gonna convoke to try and catch up. Thankfully, this season the timers are like super forgiving. So we do end up timing this T, even though the start was probably about as bad as it could get. I don't think I used my bark skin at all during that, so that's one place to identify as a area of improvement. Again, I should shift to take the pressure off of myself. I don't know if that's stoppable. I don't think it is. So it seems like that's just a mechanic that I have to deal with. And I also don't know whether or not a normal pull is going to be one or two of the subjugators at a time. Alright, where do we go next? I think the boss is right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're at the first boss with 7 deaths. It's not the best. Okay, so for this boss, I have to remember what's going to happen. Let's see where the damage comes out. It's probably going to be on the slam, right? So very, very minor single target, nothing there. Using slam. Let's see, anything here? No. Cool. So using slam is going to be the mechanic where I need to pre-hot. I probably want to save my swift mend for that. This would be a good place to use swift mend, nature swiftness, regrowth. I should have been ramping some hots right there. I'm currently playing with Harmonious Blooming. part of me has been wanting to toy with using. I'm not sure what the talent is, but it's on the right hand side of the tree, the one that provides extended duration of rejuve um, with overheal. I might try and do that to make my ramps last a little bit longer, because it seems like there's not a lot going on in this fight. So Oozing Slam coming out, I should have pre-hotted. So it looks like this is going to be a big chunk of damage, followed by a pretty gnarly die. I bet you I can Invoke. No, I don't. Very manageable. A little bit of Wild Charge on the Oozling. They're good targets for your Ursul's Vortex too, to pull him back in. Okay, so we learned quite a bit about the Oozing Slam on this boss. That's sort of your ramp timer. Outside of that, there's not much going on. Cool, easy enough. I think we're gonna pull. Is the tank ready for it? Yeah, he's good. Trying to fit in a little bit of DPS. Spread some bleeds. The day that I'm recording this is the Tuesday of the first reset after Mythic Plus came out, so I'm excited to kind of use what I'm learning re-reviewing this later on in the week. Hopefully I'll be able to get like a 14, maybe a 15 done in here. We'll have to compare, see how it goes. So let's see, the Rift Wardens. I know that they do the big pulse. These guys that jump out, they are... I got baited by the Death Knight. I was going to go for either an in-cap or a push. They are stoppable. So in-cap and push are good ways to deal with it. I haven't seen any Shadow Meld mechanics in here lately. So the Shadow Meld Rake is also in a way we can use to stop those. Not much going on out there. I could probably spend a lot more time dishing out bleeds. For future videos, I think I'm gonna swap my details meters to damage overall and current, just because there's not much going out. So it looks like there was a pulse on the Rift Tear. I didn't notice that last time. Looks like there's some casts going off. I probably could shout them. One thing that I've been trying to do after I use my in-cap, as long as there's not heavy healing, is just to throw out a Bear Thrash. Okay, keeping the life bloom on the tank for now. I can tell that I'm playing distracted. I'm yapping in Discord right now. Um, just not really focusing on my gameplay. I didn't feel too threatened by the 11. I didn't really know what I had in store for me, but I felt, fairly comfortable to be able to I would be able to deal with it. Okay, looks like we have another Rift Warden, or where are we going? Oh, he's pulling trash into it. One thing that I'm trying to look for as we're going through here and doing this VOD review, I'm looking to see if there's any good places to use my Ursul's Vortex. In places like Pit, it's really nice to have something to get all of those like leapers. It's a good way to help mitigate a lot of damage. Identifying those packs early is good. So right now we've found that we can get the Oozlings, or whatever they're called, on the first sort of boss, and then now we're just looking for other good targets. Okay, so it looks like the Rift Warden just kind of pulses every now and then. So there's not really heavy healing that needs to go on. I could probably do a better job of spreading some... feeling comfortable in spreading some more bleeds. I only recently swapped to running Wild Charge, so you may not see me use that as much as I should be. Cool. Coming up to the next Rift Warden. I wonder what this trash is going to be. I feel like these bats are going to do like a shriek or something. I don't even remember. Lots of bleeds going out this season. Looks like one of my trees pulled. Okay, cool. So we're going to have a big pull. Probably bigger than intended. Okay, there's some stops up there I should be helping with. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Looks like we're recovering again. I still have my in cap available, so I should be helping with the casts up top. And that was like 12 hours too late, so that was a waste on my end, but it kind of is what it is. When you're in the heat of the moment, sometimes you just send it. Okay, now we're coming up to the, I think this is the ball boss, right? Cool. Spreading out some bleeds. I didn't use my Light's Potential Pot. I should have done that there before I put out my um, Heart of the Wild Feral Frenzy. Okay, so where does the damage come in this boss? Okay, so there's some explosions after the orbs are about to pop. And then I don't know what this debuff is that's going on us. I'll have to look at that. Okay, so the blue one, I don't know what it is. The purple one looks like it's a dot. Right now, the tank doesn't look like he's taking too much damage, so I think I may be the primary life bloom target on this for increased splash healing. Okay, and I think the popping of the orbs is going to be like a bark skin or major healing cooldown. Iron bark on the mage right there. I should probably give him my life bloom. Looks like I do. Good. Like I said, I am running Harmonious Blooming, so my life bloom gives the 3 stacks of mastery. Kind of helps with that single target. So I think I made it through that boss fight without really pushing any of my major cooldowns, just kind of raw output. So I'll be curious to see how that goes in higher key levels. There was nothing too wild about that. Nothing really big to identify other than bark skin before the pop. Maybe that's where I'll send like a convoke, and then pre-hot the purple dot. Okay. So this is the single target heal into the knock up into the dot, right? So I think what I should be doing is swapping my life bloom. I need a defense of that mage. He's gonna get hurt. Okay, he used Ice Cold. I had Iron Bark I could have sent on him. So I think that's sort of the, okay, on me and the Demon Hunter. I Bark Skin. Do I Frenzy it? I don't have it. Yeah, I think that's sort of the identifiable, like, thing here, is that if someone gets two of those dots on them, they're gonna need external. And as always, a good place to, it looks like, you know, fairly heavy single target damage, so that's a good place for me to swap my Life Bloom. I'm happy that the mage popped his Ice Cold right there because, or I think it was Ice Cold, uh, because he would have died. I really should have sent my Iron Bark. Right there, I should be helping out the DH. Ooh, he died. Again, I had Iron Bark available. That was a little bit unfortunate because it, you know, multiple people got caught with the debuff, but still, Iron Bark the mage. Nope. Yikes. I have a feeling this trash is going to be a little tough. A little tough in higher keys. Cool. So I think that's good. We identified when we're going to need to send externals, when we should use our own personal defensives on that, and it's just when you get the debuff. So that's easy enough. Oh, I just walked right into that. I think I was just not even looking at the battlefield right now, so that's just me being absolutely blind. So aside from dodging, there's not really much going out during that trash pack, and I think we have a couple more that are very similar. Unfortunate that I lost my stealth, but giving him the verse buff was more important. One thing that I'm curious to try out in a couple of keys maybe this week. Oh man. Okay, so I let the Demon Hunter die. I had Nature Swiftness available. I should have sent it. I also had Iron Bark. That was on me. One thing that I'm curious to try out maybe this week on keys is I have an Owl Weaving build that I kind of want to see how it plays. Um, Being at range is just a lot more comfortable during this type of fight. I just have to, if I'm going to do that, I need to make sure that I keep my Life Bloom sort of in melee. Or, I mean, I guess at range, depending on the group comp, right? If I have two ranged, I can hang out back with them. Alright, I've already forgotten what this boss does, so let's see. Okay, so no damage coming out yet. Oh, okay. This is where the Void Tendrils are coming out, right? Okay, so big single target healing on the people that get targeted. That shows up on our party frames, so that's good to know. So far, nothing to pre-ramp. Okay. So I should make sure that I get full hots on everybody before the tentacles come out. And we're going to kick the Mind Blast, and then we're going to do the Repulse. Which this is the Grim Toll mechanic. Bad play by me using my Stampeding Roar. I should have just used the dash. I think right there I was trying to hold off on sending my Nature Swiftness so I could pair it with a Swiftman Soul of the Forest, but really I should have just been sending it. Got a little bit lower than I wanted to. Alright, Void Tentacle on me. I need to be spamming more heals. There's a lot of downtime. I can tell that I'm thinking about what I want to do, where the better course is just do something. Alright, I should probably... This might be a tranked angle. Let's see. Yeah, I should have tranked. Cool. There's a lot of big damage coming out right away, so I think it's probably going to be send to cooldown early. Send to cooldown early when the tentacles come out to help manage the healing while the DPS kill one. We don't have a battle res right now. Boss is almost dead, so that's okay, but... Cool. So the Grim Batol phase doesn't hurt too bad, it doesn't seem. So we have Mind Blast, and then we're going to have... What's the Mass Void Infusion? Alright, so that's just the dot that goes out. And then Gate of the Abyss is going to be... What's up? Well, he's going to die before he gets out. Umbral Tentacles. So this would be a good time to Wild Growth into Trank. But boss is dead. Cool. So again, that's good learning points on when I may need to send stuff. Bark Skin and Iron Bark are still up, so lots of room for improvement. And I think we go straight into a boss fight, right? Hit your beams. Alright. Now, from what I do remember on this run, it starts with just big pulsing damage, so I think I probably want to pre-hot. I wish I had an RP timer to know when it was coming out. Okay, cool. So as the little shield is dropping, that doesn't hurt as bad as I thought it did. Oh, maybe it does. Instantly semi-convoke. I have a feeling that the next time I come in here, now that I know to pre-hot before the boss is coming out, I'm going to be able to save my convoke to help with damage, to help mitigate damage later. Do I have a thing? Yeah, I do. Run it. Cool. Do these burst when she pops it? Let's see. It does. Okay. So I want to make sure everybody's healthy while she's casting the Grim Chorus. Move out of the way. And then, is this beams? Yep, here comes beams. Looks like this fight's just going to be a lot of rejuve uptime. Not for me. Run out of the way. And what do we have? Symphony of the Eternal Night. Anything going on? No. Build up some combo points. And then... Let's see if I send my Convoke. Alright, it's a good thing that I held... Yeah, I did. I sent my Convoke for damage. It was a good thing that I held my Heart of the Wild there. I vaguely remember that there was a damage amp phase, so I'm happy that I saved it. I should have used the Light's Potential Pot, or maybe even held my stuff for that, but that's okay. And then we go from the damage amp into a little bit of burst and beams. Cool. I need a swift mend. Yep, good. Rejuve, good. Alright, move over. I should top up the mage. This will give me a good time to swift mend, Soul of the Forest. Nature Swiftness Regrowth. I could have done that for a big burst, but everything seems pretty manageable so far. So it's just gonna be a lot of maintenance on my on my hots. I think we probably get one more set of beams. Symphony of the Eternal Night. I think we popped everything, so pretty clean. Cool. I think we learned a lot of good stuff on that. I think that was, pre-shifting the subjugators at the beginning, making sure that we're rolling bark skin on that and iron bark. Um, Trash mechanics. We have some good places that we identified to use iron bark on the DPS if we need to. So lots of good stuff coming out of that run, and I'm looking forward to going back in there and seeing if we can apply what we learned after the reset. But that's it for this run. So I learned some stuff. I hope you did too. Consider dropping a like and subscribe, and then we'll see you on the next one.